Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to Algodo tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wof.
And I am excited to be back with you guys today as we bring the Winter Marble League to a close. Wow, I fumbled my words there, but you get the idea. Winter Marble League. It was exciting to say the least, but I am definitely looking forward to the true Marble League that we will see this year in 2021. But yeah, I'm glad to be with you guys today. I'm glad to talk some marbles with you. I will say the last week or so has been tough for me for many reasons. I've been starting up, getting back into college more. The work has been really hard, actually, so I've been had to spend a lot more time on that, so that's been rough. And then I hurt myself playing Geometry Dash. That happened. I was playing, and just the position I was playing in put a lot of stress on the nerves and the tendon in my elbow, and because it was so bent for so long, I guess tore it, or not tore it, but strained it. So my hand went numb, my arm went numb for the last week and a half, but it's starting to get better. So I'm going to be back, hopefully slowly getting back into streaming, back into all that as well. But yeah, those have been some tough things that I've had to deal with. Hey, but we get through it. We roll on through it, you know? No more no Cianics. Go Cianics. We're going to talk about that today too, by the way.
Oh yeah, I guess how have you been doing it in the podcast contest?
Funny you should ask. I was the first one out. I really actually got kicked out first round.
Damn.
I mean, listen, it was hard enough to get in there. I'm happy that I got in. There were a lot more people than you think applied for this. More like they accepted 12. I was one of the 12, and I think, I don't know. I mean, at least hundreds applied for this. So I mean, it was hard enough to get in to this contest. So I'm just happy that I even had the opportunity. While I'm not happy that I'm out, I'm not like in disbelief. Because first of all, the way it works is you work in teams. So
right.
Our team losing that was dependent not just on me, but on all of us.
Gotcha.
And what they expect is the submissions are 10-minute episodes. And the way they work is you have to submit an episode that covers like a whole topic, a challenge, meet the challenge, but it's only 10 minutes long, and you have to make it with 4 people. And that was very much against what I've been doing for podcasting for the last 85 episodes. I'm used to a long episode. I'm used to a not that heavily edited episode, because I try to personally from here get better at filling the time productively and well and entertainingly, instead of just always editing everything out. And of course, it's in general was hard for us as a group to really shorten it up. So it ended up being a really good long episode we recorded, but it didn't edit down to a really good short episode. So that was a difficulty, and my editing experience is not there compared to some of these other people who are very, very experienced. So yeah, I ended up going, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. It was tough to lose, but it's not like they're like, okay, talk about marbles, and they eliminated me first out of 12. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like everything was up my alley there. But you know what? Like I said, I'm really happy that I even got the chance to be in the competition. There are a lot of bonuses for even getting in. The fact that I was even a part of it means that all the judges and the people who run it, who are very big names in podcasting, I now have direct contact with them whenever I might need them, which is really important because connections are everything. So I mean, most of those people are usually really hard to contact, but if you don't know them, but now that I'm in that community, because I have a whole Discord for everyone who's ever competed, I kind of get that extra bonus of like, if I ever need something, and I need to make a connection with someone else who's into podcasting and just, putting on something like a production in general, there's people there who are very good at it. So that is what that is. But we're probably going to stick with the Saturday recording time, though, because it works.
Yeah, just because of work.
Yeah. Wof, you, and then we'll get to the news.
Yeah, I don't really think I have too much to talk about at this time. It's just been kind of more of the same. Got back into living the life here at the apartment, getting things. I started doing cleaning again today, so I had to stop a bit midway, so I'll be going back to that after this episode's done recording. I don't. Is there anything? I guess I'm planning on working on my some stuff for my YouTube channel again, so I guess keep an eye out for that. But other than that, it's basically just more of the same.
All right, that sounds great, Wof. So before we go to the news, couple things. First of all, speaking of YouTube channels, go drop a sub on the Marble Sports Worldwide YouTube channel if you haven't already. Go drop a sub on my personal gaming YouTube channel called GD Marble. Please go drop a sub there. Every sub is helpful there as well. The only other thing to really mention here is the Super Bowl's coming up next week, and I've been, I don't really talk about football on this podcast, but I like football. I'm a big fan. I'm an Eagles fan, for anyone who lives up here near the Eagles. I just enjoy football in general. So, enjoy your Super Bowl, guys. I personally want the Buccaneers to win because I like Tom Brady, and the Chiefs already won like 2 years ago or last year or whatever, so I don't really want them to win again. That should be an exciting game next week. And I always do the little Super Bowl betting thing where you put your names in the squares with like my family and we like win like prizes that we give out. So that's always a lot of fun as well. So with that being said, hope you enjoy your weeks. We have weeks of football coming up here, but in the meantime, a lot of marbles to dive into. So let's get to the news with Johnny Marble. And when we come back, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to hockey and the Oceanics.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you for MSW. Let's get right on in it. The final event of the Marble League Winter Special, Ice Hockey, was very intense as the points leaders coming in, the Oceanics, lost in the first round, creating an opportunity for another team to take first overall for themselves. There were a lot of great goals and close saves by the goalies that kept us on the edge of our seats. And by the end, the Raspberry Racers took first, followed by the Savage Speeders in second, and the O-Rangers in third. And now, for the overall results. While the performance in ice hockey left a lot to be desired, the Oceanics' previous performances were enough to earn them the gold. The battle for second was close, with only a 2-point difference between them, but the O-Rangers still managed to take home silver, leaving the Hazers with the bronze medal. Congratulations to all of these teams for their incredible performances, and we look forward to seeing more of them once Marbula 1 returns. Well guys, the news is short today. I always enjoy our time together. I've been Johnny Marble. You have been the best fans in the world. Let's kick it on back and continue with the podcast.
We are back from the news. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for taking us through the exciting events that have occurred this week in the world of marble sports. Always exciting. And I want to bounce off that excitement before we dive into hockey. I want to mention a couple things that I didn't mention before. I can't believe I forgot about this stuff. First of all, I will be coming back to comment Season 2 of the Racing Marble League, which has grown in popularity pretty well since the beginning of Season 1. So you'll hear my voice back on there, commentating over those marbles as they race in Season 2. And I will also be jumping back on commentary for the Races and Fun YouTube channel, which does Hot Wheels racing and things like that. So you can check that out as well.
Very
but
cool.
Neither here nor there on that. Let's jump into hockey. Oh my God, hockey was very, very intricate and exciting. I saw a lot of things that I really liked out there. We talked a little bit about hockey and what we would like to see, and our pipe dreams for perfect marble hockey. But let's start with the event and rate it like we usually do. Wof, why don't you start us off? Rate it out of 10. Tell us your opinions on the event as a whole.
All right, so for me, this is definitely a great improvement over ice hockey from 2018. Like the way that the goalies they had like the magnets underneath them to like draw these small ball bearings to them. It gave the goalies much more of a role to play, and because there was more pucks in play, I think, than they were last year, it allowed for more opportunities to score, and like that added so much more to it. I guess like one thing that bothered me, I guess, was like because they were so small, it was hard to see them sometimes and to keep track of just what was going on. And even Greg admitted to that. Like at one point, he didn't even realize that that Momo had scored a point in like their second run. He's like, "Oh, they didn't get anything." He's like, "No," but overall, I would say that it's a great improvement. It was more enjoyable to watch. The goalies could do more. And I think this is definitely a much greater step up from what it was before. So I would say, oh boy, 7. I think it's just a solid 7 for me.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can echo that. I think personally, I would even go as far to say an 8. And the reason I would do that is because that the idea of hockey and marble sports before you improve it is already a really unique and good idea that is pulled off quite well. So I think the event it has a nice place in the world of marble sports. It's a nice breakup from all the racing style events, from the timed style events. Honestly, hockey probably would have placed better midway through the season in the Winter Marble League to kind of break things up better. But I mean, it is a extremely unique event that's already very well made, even before all the improvements. But I will say, big fan of the magnets. So big fan. So big fan of the magnets. I did not even think of that possibility because I wasn't really thinking about the goalies, and I didn't really think about and consider whether I liked or disliked the role of the goalies. But I really like the addition of the magnets because, like Wof said, it adds a role for the goalies. It adds a purpose for them. Instead of just being a marble that a ball bearing might bounce off of once every 20 million years, it actually can make clear stops. Clear stops to the ball bearings and make it look like that goalie is actually pulling the ball in and diving in front of it, or you could imagine that at least as the ball bearing kind of gets stuck there on the magnet. So I really enjoyed that. And there was a couple of weird things there. The music they used in the background of the event.
Oh yeah, the organ.
But that was baseball music. That is 100% baseball music. That was a little bit weird for me.
It's been a while since I've been to a hockey game, but I think they use some of the same music in hockey games.
Maybe someone should actually write in and tell me if that's oh, by the way, should I mention that? MSWpodcast@gmail.com. You can write in. You can email about anything. Perfect thing. Tell me about it. If you've been to hockey games and like you hear music like that, let me know. I feel like that's baseball music strictly, but I'm open to understand things that I'm not aware of. I've never been to a hockey game. But yeah, email in mswpodcast@gmail.com. We will read your email on the air and discuss the topic, question, or just thing you wanted to talk about, and enjoy that together. Give us a chance to relate with you as the audience. With that being said, yes, the music was good. I think it added a nice sporty feel to it. It almost felt like a little carnival in some respect too. But yeah, like it did, for me, it was a little off-putting because it did feel to me like this is not a baseball game. What's going on here?
I get you, but it just could be because like it's not something that you're aware of. Like you've only been exposed to it at baseball games. It might be just of American sports type of thing, possibly, or like we don't. And like I can't tell you if you're right or if I'm right or wrong about that because I don't know. I legitimately do not know. I guess we could look it up right now, or whoever live chat members could look it up and like tell us.
Yeah. Okay, now that we've established that, like I said, 8 out of 10 for me, we should talk about what I don't like about hockey and what I want to see improved.
Okay.
I personally feel that I just don't like how the marbles enter the arena. I don't. I feel that they enter, I guess, coming at each other, but they enter in the same direction, and it because of that, they miss a lot of the ball bearings, and there is a lack of actual battling, actual back and forth between the marble teams until they end up slamming against the sides of the arena at the goals. And while I mean, like I said, hockey's already a really good and unique event, improvement is always important. We must talk every time. We must address at some point every time what we can do to even make the most perfect of event better. And this needs to change, in my opinion. So what I envision at the very least, they should do something of the sort where they have the teams enter in from opposing sides and have the ball bearings in the center so that the teams knock into a lot of the ball bearings and are like battling over that and kind of ram into each other, almost like collision. It's like you know what I'm saying? So they enter so the one team enters here. If you see on the YouTube, actually, let me bring that back up here. The one team enters on the side that where both teams are entering currently. The other team enters in a mirrored way on the other side, so that they're coming across the arena, slamming into each other, causing a lot more chaos in the center, hitting a lot more ball bearings because of that collision and the formation of that collision, allowing the marbles to arrange in much more complex formations that would make more sense for battling in hockey and making it seem like they're making more choices. That was a small change that would already make it better. Than that. Obviously, anything beyond that, there's obviously a couple other small changes you'll probably think of. Anything beyond that would be something like taking hockey from this and actually changing it to some sort of air hockey table type thing. But that's a change that I would like to see, like that opposing entry. So you get collision plus the hockey pucks, because that would create a lot more chaos and make for a lot more of an exciting match where, if you're diving into the marble role play, you will really feel like they're actually playing hockey out there for a little longer.
Right. And I don't know if I made this point like on the episode where we talked about that came up with the idea of the air hockey marble hockey event, but it was like the moments where the marbles who want the barrel bearing to go into the goal end up blocking the shots. And it's like that's not like in real life hockey, they wouldn't want to do that to themselves. That's a negative of the fact that the marbles can't continue to self-propel. And we brought up how you have the kind of like the spring-loaded launch pads, kind of like on pinball machines, to keep launching them, and on top of the puck could be on the air, so it's constantly flowing around or something like that.
Yeah, and
that could keep it more perpetual and avoid instances where the teams are self-sabotaging. But I think this is a point that I think that I might have already made, but that's going to that length is kind of more for a channel who'd be solely dedicated to marble hockey specifically, because an event like that would go for a long time, because for one thing, it could take forever for a goal to be scored, and then you got to do it multiple times. It would probably be a time limit thing. The game's going to go for maybe 5 minutes or something that could take for a long time. I think it's, and so because of that, I think because Yellow's Marble Runs is a very diverse channel, especially with this is a Marble League thing where it's multiple different types of styles of competitions. It's okay for them to not go that far, because if they went that far, it could be several videos, just how curling was 3 videos.
I personally love curling, so I mean, there's something to be said for that.
But I feel even for curling fans, it was a lot of curling.
It was a lot of long videos, yeah.
So I feel if going too far to make it as great as possible also does have the drawback of now it's going to take a long time, and so it's I think it's also important for us to keep that for JMR just to stay simpler, so that way it's still fluid and goes quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you have a valid point, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am saying that as JMR continues to exist, and as I hit the table, I don't know if you heard that through the mic, but I just did. As JMR continues to grow and becomes a more established channel, maybe when they hit 5 million subs, maybe when they hit 10 million subs, as long as they continue to go on that upwards direction, then you're going to get to the point where, at least in my personal opinion, I expect every event to be pushed to the very limit of its creativity, to where every event is the best representation of letting marbles compete to the fullest, making it seem like the marbles are doing as much as possible. So yeah, like while hockey might take an hour if you make it an air hockey table, so the marbles are always moving around and the puck's kind of all moving around with them. When JMR hits 5 million subscribers, that hour video is not necessarily a negative thing, because then there's a lot of people out there who where JMR is not just a YouTube channel anymore. It's become a seasonal sport that they sit down and watch, and an hour video that makes sense because it's an hour, because the hockey is more complicated and advanced and better suited to, making it seem like the marbles are actually playing hockey is not a bad thing. So while I think right now, yes, it'd be weird to have all these 15-minute videos and then hockey just be an hour, I think a while from now, when JMR continues to grow and becomes something where people stop considering this a YouTube channel and start considering this a real sport, then JMR is gonna really I think, well, they at least should try. They should at least try to turn it into even something better, And like I said, this is already an 8 out of 10. This is already a very good event. I'm just saying that, JMR should get to the point. Like, think about it. If you think about the real Olympics, okay, all the events in the real Olympics, they're all way different lengths of time it takes for them to do them. Some events are really quick in the Olympics, and some take days and days. And so, but because that Olympics is such a big thing around the world, it's okay. It's so big that it doesn't matter that something takes longer. Everyone's still watching it. So once JMR gets big enough that it's the same goes for them, they're a sport, not just a YouTube channel, then making hockey be an hour video because you're making it a lot more complex, in my opinion, is not a negative thing. But at the current situation, the current place that we are right now, I understand and totally agree with your point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess if JMR ever reached a point where it was airing on TV, not like a recap like they've done on the O Trip, like a full blown airing it on TV someday, which I mean that's
gonna happen someday, guys.
I mean,
someday,
possibly, but at the same time, TV has kind of died down in popularity ever since streaming has become a thing. So while that would be amazing to see, it's popular. Well, you know what? Do it if they can. I think that'd be fun. I would totally. I think I would enjoy that. It'd be kind of funny to see with my parents. They're scrolling through ESPN,
through TV, and then you see ESPN Marble Sports. Oh my God, that would be unbelievable.
That would be they're like, what is all this? And okay, here, I'll set you down. Here's what it all is.
Yeah, and then you'd be able to be the one who's the most knowledgeable one in the room.
Right. I just came up with a random idea for how to get marbles to, I guess, go after the puck. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of smart people who could tell me that this is not how magnets would work. This would not work at all. But if the marbles were on their own hovering pucks with a magnet, and the puck itself is has a strong magnet, attractive magnet on the outside, but a strong repelling magnet on the inside, so that they're drawn to it to try and sort of push it. When they get close enough, it then repels and shoots away from them, kind of so that you can kind of get the idea of them going after this puck and trying to score it. It may I know that sounds incredibly complicated. It totally is, and I don't even know if that would actually physically could work. But I'm just saying I'm throwing these ideas at her, not to say that this is what JMR is to do, though they totally could. I'm just saying hey, anyone listening, if you have the ability or the ideas to do this, make this stuff, and then someday someone could make these competitions, and we can all enjoy it and talk about it together. So I'm throwing my ideas out into the wind to give fuel for the creative minds in this marble sports community.
No, yeah, and that's exactly what we're all about here on the show. I mean, those ideas, just put them out there. Obviously, that idea sounds very, very complex. I don't think it's impossible. I think you're making a lot of sense, but it's just very hard to actually make work because, well, that would be a really tough thing to do, to get the magnets right, the strengths right, the positioning right, so that could be something that works smoothly would be hard. But putting those ideas out there, it can't hurt. And that's only going to bring us closer to even better, more creative, more complex, more enjoyable marble sports. So I agree. Those ideas, that's why we throw these ideas out there. That's why a year ago I sat here and said to you guys, MarbleCon 2025 is happening. Now, I don't know if it will happen in 2025, not because I think it couldn't. I just think, it's going to be a while until, this whole virus thing dies down. We're in 2021 currently. Who knows how long it's going to be until the whole world is accepting of, not having to wear a mask anymore. Who knows? I don't know. But I still think Marvel 2025, CumberCon 2025 is an extreme possibility, and it's an idea I'm throwing out there because the fact that it's out there now, there's other people in the world. The 100 people who listen to this every week now have it in their heads that a Marvel convention is a thing that someone's imagined, and now you might take that idea, and you might be the one. You might be listening to the right now, and 5 years from now, you create the first Marvel Con, and hopefully you give me a VIP ticket and like something because you heard it here first. But, you might be the one. So, I mean, ideas are always good to get out there on the table. You never know where they're going to lead. You never know what idea is going to then bounce into another idea and then roll into another idea and then, in Team Pursuit into another idea. I was just throwing some Marvel stuff out there.
Gosh dang it, Brendan. I thought you would.
Team Pursuit. Speed Skate into another idea. You don't know. That's why you throw them out there. So, yeah, absolutely. And that's another real good reason to email in. I would love to get your guys' unique ideas. If you're just sitting there or you're watching Marble Sports, you're like, oh my God, what if they did this? That'd be a good idea. Write that in so we can talk about that because I love ideas. I love the prospect of taking Marble Sports to the next level always, never stagnating in the world of Marble Sports. So,
indeed.
Whew. With that being said, Wof, before we get to trivia.
Well, should we talk about the teams?
I said before we get to trivia, definitely. I wanted to talk about the Oceanics.
I jumped the gun, sorry.
And now, when I talk about the Oceanics, in my personal opinion, you guys might not be ready to do this, but I have already been ready to do this, and now I've just solidified that. There is no more Oceanics. They, in my mind, are completely the Oceanics. We're doing a Oceanics right now.
Didn't we say this for the 2020 Marble League, like that Oceanics is over already?
Not everybody was on board. The facts could have rolled either way, depending on who you asked. But now it's definite. Come on, guys. Oceanics is back. And the veteran team, Oceanics, finally reemerging here, finally, flashing out there and showing that they are a team to be scared of, and taking home the overall victory and like 3 or 4 medals here in the Winter Marble League. It's absolutely insane. I mean, I don't want to make any statements about what's going to happen in the next Marble League, but Oceanics could find their way into my fantasy team. We'll see. Wof, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I'm really excited. They've done a phenomenal job. It is important to remember that, yes, this was winter, and yes, it was only 5 events. We've seen teams who started strong and then kind of collapsed or just did mediocre towards the end, and they didn't win by a massive margin. It was still very possible for them to lose. But so it's not like they're like the cream of the crop or anything like that. But they are definitely way out of their. I would say they're definitely out of their funk at this point. They are way better than they've. Not than they've ever been. I think that because they did have that one good performance in was it 2019, right? They got 3rd place.
Yeah, they did. They got 3rd in 2019. I have no idea.
They got top 3 in 1 year, if I'm not mistaken. So honestly, it's really nice to see this team do good because I don't like it when I see seeing a team just fail so much. It kind of hurts to see. It's why I have a preference.
Unless
in
it's
Momo.
the Mini Maniacs. If the Mini Maniacs fail every time, I'm still happy.
Oh yeah, I got confirmation by the third overall in 2018. So they did good in the winter one as well. So the winter is their thing, it seems. But yeah, it does kind of, it's nice to see there's actual competition because one of the appeals of it is any team could win really just by random chance, and it's having the Oceanics actually be a real competitor again, and it's it opens up more for competition and stories to be developed. This is a big old redemption arc for the Oceanics right now.
Oh, absolutely.
That's really exciting. What could happen? Because depending on how the events go, the story can develop in so many different ways. It could go back. It could be another massive failure, and it's even greater outrage, or it could be it could be middling. It's like, okay, or it'd be like a massive triumph, and it's like, oh my word, the Oceanics just came back and they wrecked it. Like it's very interesting to see where this could go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of retrospectives on this one.
Oh, yeah.
From Stinth, but no, absolutely. And this is something I'm so excited to see unfold or unroll. Roll. Ricochet? Sorry, unroll when we get to the 2021 Marble League, because this could go any way. And some of the ways it could go end in a very epic lore story, sometimes in some way even more epic than the lore story of that of the Savage Speeders. And that would be the Oceanics going from dead last place, not even getting in the top half all of 2018, with this host curse, this Oceanics. Host curse is fake, by the way. Then coming back here, practicing over the years, 2019, sorry.
Yeah,
coming back, practicing over the years, pushing through, winning this Winter Marble League, and then coming back even hotter in 2021.
Or colder in their case, because they seem to like the cold. But yeah, I guess other teams who were surprising, Raspberry Racers, they did a really good job. They jumped up 5 places after their performance. If I'm not mistaken, they finished in 4th?
Yeah, they did finish in 4th. Sorry, I'm back. I had a quick hiccup that I had to deal with.
Yeah, so
Raspberry
Racers,
let's mention something, and actually I'll throw this up on the YouTube real quick. Let's not, and I think this is a good way for the Winter Marble League to end, because we don't want to forget certain things, and Marble Sports is telling us, is not letting us forget certain things. Let me find that picture. Here we go. Look at this picture right here. What do we got on this podium here at the end of hockey? We got Raspberry Racers in 1st. We got Savage Speeders in 2nd. We got O-Rangers in 3rd. Okay? What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tells me that these teams that we have been slacking off of late, that we have been, obviously we know they're good, but we've been kind of like, wow, Savage Speeders and Raspberry Racers and O-Rangers have not been performing. We've seen that they are not bad teams still. Just because they've been having a rough patch, there's still teams that are going to compete. There's still teams that are going to win a good amount of the time, and I would not count those teams out yet. This is a flicker of hope for me when it comes to these teams, because we've been talking about the Savage Speeders and the O-Rangers really struggling over the last few events in Winter Marble League, over Marbula 1, but no. You guys can't jump to that conclusion yet that these teams are laying down, and even the Raspberry Racers have not been doing great as of late. But now they're turning it around. So I would not forget these teams, and this is why it's going to be so difficult this year, Wof, to make our Marble League 2021 fantasy teams. Because how do we know? We got the Oceanics coming out of nowhere. We got the Crazy Cat's Eyes in Marbula 1 just doing something that no one's ever seen before. The Crazy Cat's Eyes have already done better in Marbula 1 in the first 6 races than the Savage Speeders in Season 1. We got this, but then we got the Savage Speeders and the O-Rangers kind of going up into this thing where they win events and then they go down and they get last place. And so, I mean, where are we going? And then we got Mini Maniacs out of nowhere. I mean, we got a lot of difficult decisions to make when we face the fantasy draft this year. And honestly, I really put a lot of weight in the fantasy draft. Because when you draft a fantasy team from Marble Sports, what you're saying, because remember, a Marble League is the bulk of the year. Marble League is the bulk of of the year in Marble Sports. So when you draft that fantasy team, you are saying, I personally, in this moment, as we head into this year of Marble Sports, think that these 5 teams that I've chosen are the 5 teams that have proved that they can shine and will be the ones to shine this year. And so that's you kind of, yeah, you have your teams that you love. I love the Limers. I'm not picking them for fantasy, but I love the Limers. But you also have your teams that you put stock in. And to really put that dedication into those 5 teams for your fantasy is a meaningful choice that you're locked into for all of Marble League. And that's a good few months out of the year. So this is an extremely important decision, and it's going to be very difficult this year for me to make a sound decision that I'm not unsure about in some way as we head into this year. Well, what do you think?
I mean, just because the way I am, there's always going to be one slot like guaranteed every time. It's going to be Momo. Momo's always going to be there.
Always the Momo.
I'm a big fan of Raspberry Racers, so like unless they did like really bad, like I probably would. I don't think I would definitely just like they're almost always going to be an automatic pick for me now as well. But for the other 3 slots, it could definitely be in contention. Like I like the Cat's Eyes, but like I do need to really like look at the other competitors here because like it's gonna be interesting. Like they've can you actually pull up the ending points for this Winter Marble League?
Oh yeah, I was about to look up my fantasy team too because we didn't talk about that yet. I'll probably bring it up after the trivia and mention it real quick. I didn't end well. I might have ended in top half, but this was a tough one for me. Here we got some final points here, and actually, while we're here, let me mention that the teams in question, even the ones we've been worried about doing badly in the Winter Marble League, didn't do that bad. Oceanic 69, O'Rangers 61, Raspberry Racers 4th 58, Savage Speeders 7th 52, Green Ducks 8th 45. Not bad at all. Momo pulled in middle 44. Snowballs got last. I don't know how they got last. This is a winter thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the teams you expect to get last, actually the ones who did bad. Chocolatiers, Balls of Chaos, Pinkies. So, I mean, it ended a lot close. Well, it didn't end exactly how I expected, but it ended closer to expectations than I thought it would. So,
yeah. I completely forgot. Like the Thunderbolts, they are also like a pretty big redemption story. They're not as like they didn't have as big of a finale as the Oceanics, but like they really pulled it together in events 3 and 4. Like but they're also going in through their own sort of redemption story.
Yeah, and I'm excited. And see, that's another thing because then you got these teams that you don't know if they're gonna bud this year. Because you don't know, I didn't think the Mini Maniacs and Momo were gonna bud this year, and they're doing great this year. In 2020, at least, they did well. Mm-hmm. Maybe the Thunderbolts are gonna bud this year, and we don't even know it. So how can you pick a good team that you're 100% sure of? I don't know. I am very excited to entertain the fantasy picks for this coming Marble League. I am extremely excited to really try to work my way through and be a Marble sports connoisseur and really be, find the hidden potentials that I wouldn't normally see. And me and Wof will try to give you guys, the best insight on what picks you should be making and what picks you shouldn't be making, because there are teams you should not pick if you want a high pointage in the fantasy. So with that being
the other thing, the other thing I wanted to bring up was with having so many great stories and narratives in there are now so many teams that you can root for. One of the problems is whenever your main team is doing bad or it's out of contention for winning, you need someone else there to really keep you going. And so even if Momo and Raspberry Racers just don't do good this year, I now actually really am rooting for the Oceanics and Thunderbolts because I love underdogs and they're really they're just coming back and I can actually be excited to watch them do good. I have so many different options to pick from.
Yeah. No, yeah, agreed on that. That the increased lore in the world of marble sports is making rooting for teams that are not necessarily my top 3 extremely attractive. So yeah, agreed on that. But with that being said, we should jump into trivia because we got emails to read that are hefty, and I want to make sure we leave time for those. So let's jump to trivia. Play that music, editor person. Believe it's Kaysen this week. Thank you, Kaysen, for your editing.
No, it's actually S-Man this week.
Oh, it's S-Man this week. Well, thank you, S-Man, for your editing services. Throw some trivia music in here. We'll see you on the other side of that.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
All right, and we are in the trivia world. Wof, do you want to start off with your question, and then I'll read the question submitted to me by Mr. Gator?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so this question comes in from Kaysen, and he asked, in the 2018 ML bobsled event, which team had the most penalty points from marbles falling out of the bobsled? That's an interesting question. A lot of teams a lot of teams fell out of the bobsled. I feel like almost every single one of them had a marble fall, at least one fall out.
Yeah, it was a very rough course, absolutely.
One team had 3 marbles come out. I remember that.
I agree,
it?
but I'm trying to remember what team that
The
would be.
Racers? Were the Racers there yet?
I think they were, yeah, rookie year.
I'm thinking Raspberry Racers here. That's what it feels like to me.
My inclination for this question would be Team Primary or Chocolatiers, but I'm pretty sure Team Primary wasn't there in that event. That's why there's Momary. So I would say Chocolatiers or Jungle Jumpers. I would say Chocolatiers or Jungle Jumpers, absolutely. Those two teams are very, very unskilled teams in non-mainstream events. So, I mean, I would definitely see that one of those two being the answer. So let's see.
All right, the answer is Balls of Chaos with 5 penalty points. I do not remember, like was 1 point for just like falling out? Because how do you get 5? How do you get 5 penalty points? Like, there's only 4. Wait, was there 5 in the? Was there 5?
No, there's 4. There's 4, but
Okay.
maybe like they fell out and then had to restart and then fell out again. Like, because I think like if too many marbles fell out, your bobsled would just stop moving and you'd have to go back to the beginning. And then if you raced again and still had marbles fall out, that's more points. So that might have been what happened. I'd have to look into it.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we can get some clarification on, I suppose, from a live chat.
Yeah, if you guys actually know more about it, or you can look it up in the next few minutes, then I'd be happy to entertain that those details. But yeah, that's a great question. Personally, Balls of Chaos is a good answer to that. Like an answer that I feel like I would have guessed before a lot of other teams. But yeah, I resorted to the usual Chocolatiers. But here we go, guys. I'll ask mine. Here we go from Toady1. Big shout out to this guy, by the way. He does my editing for my YouTube channel, which is GD Marble, by the way. So he's a great guy. He's an amazing guy, and he's getting into marble sports. So, yay him. So let's see what he says. He says, how many teams and which teams scored 2 medals each in this Winter Marble League special? It's a good question. I'll throw my answer out first. Oceanics, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Mini Maniacs. And I believe...
Which team got 2 medals?
Which team scored 2 medals? Not 2 golds, just 2 medals, and each. How many of them? Like, name the teams that scored 2 medals in this Winter Marble League. I would say Oceanics, Mini Maniacs.
Thunderbolts?
Yes, maybe. And I would also say... like Hazers. Yes, Hazers. I would say Oceanics, Mini Maniacs, Hazers, and maybe Thunderbolts, but I'll let you have that one. And then you can guess.
Well, the question asker does bit of clarification in the live chat. Like, only 2 medals. Apparently, Oceanics scored 3, so that doesn't count. I feel you shouldn't have said that, but we saw it now, so there's nothing we can do. So Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolts they got second in one event 3 or 4, and then third in the other. It was a flip flop with the Oceanics that time. I believe the Hazers had 2, and I believe the Minty Maniacs as well. So that's the 3 I'm going with.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Again, stuff happening right in the middle of the show.
Oh
but,
my gosh.
I'm still here. Luckily, I came back before there's a lot of dead air.
Yeah, you did. Okay, but just repeat it for you.
No, you don't have to repeat it to me. I heard you.
Okay.
What he said. Apparently, Oceanics doesn't count. Why? I don't know. But let's see what the answer is anyways. And that would be 4. Wow. O-Rangers, Hazers, Thunderbolts, and Mini Maniacs all scored 2 medals.
So I got 2 of them. I got 3. I guessed Hazers, Minty Maniacs, and Thunderbolts. The only one I missed was O-Rangers.
I definitely got Mini Maniacs and Hazers, but apparently it's not, Oceanics doesn't count, and I kind of was like, okay on Thunderbolts. Like, I let you convince me. But O-Rangers I did not guess. I was going to guess them, but I was like, I thought they just more got like a lot of 5th places. But whatever. Neither here nor there.
I got a clarification on the penalty point thing from Richard Hinckley. The higher up on the course they were, the more penalty points they got.
Oh.
So I think if you fell out really early in the race, that it's like, come on, guys, really? And like, you got a much bigger slap on the wrist for it.
Come on, guys, really? How do you fall out? How do these non-living marbles make all these terrible decisions? In any event, all right, guys, let's head back to the trivia. Those were some exciting questions. You can email us trivia questions, and we'll read them on the air too. Just letting you know. I am always happy to read other people's questions and answer them because a lot of times people bring up extremely interesting trivia that I wouldn't have even thought about in the context of Marvel Sports. So, feel free to write in trivia. Okay, here we go, guys. Play that trivia music, and we'll see you on the other side.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh.
All right, we are back here, and we're going to end out today's episode with emails. Are you excited for some emails, Wof?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the current fantasy team points because they have not been updated yet, so next episode I will tell you how bad I did. But here we go, guys. We got we got 3 emails here. Let's start it off. Oh, here we go. We got Alex is cool writing in. The kid who will not stop emailing you is here again. That's yippee. That's his title. He says, "Big email alert. Read this when you have a good 5 to 25 minutes." Well, what a time gap.
I've
5 to
read
25.
I've read through it. It's not that long.
It can also be delayed if so desired. Here we go. Let's take a read, guys. As I am writing this, I am getting ready for swimming lessons. Good. Swimming is good. Everyone should swim. Because you don't want to drown. Don't do that.
Right.
Which I loathe with every atom in my soul. I should have read that part.
I was waiting for it.
Well, loathe it, but it's good to know how to do it. I actually didn't like swimming that much, even though I actually was on a swim team and I competed. And I when I was younger, I was really good. I won a lot of first places. I won so many first places in swimming when I was younger. When I would get like second or third, my parents would be like, "Really?"
Oh, that sucks.
No, but like I got older and I just didn't like it. It was just the water's cold, right? I hate getting used to the water. Okay, which I loathe. Okay, afterward, my stepmom and dad and I will be going up to Lake Tahoe. That's fun, which we do every Saturday. We live very close to the lake. It is also a good place to make marble runs because of the sand. Oh, sand marble rallies.
Very nice.
When we are done, we get burgers wherever we feel like getting them from and watch a movie. It's a fun time. Well, I'm glad that you guys are finding fun things to do. I really, you really painted a nice picture there. I kind of want a burger right now, honestly. I have literally nothing to talk about. What do we do when this happens? Oh yeah, MarvelCon 2025. That is true. When there's nothing to talk about, I talk about what I want to see in MarvelCon 2025. That fantastical idea I came up with. All right. I think this is totally possible with how the channels have been doing. In about 5 years, I think Gel will have 7 million. That is very, very bold and
yeah.
What is the word? That is very optimistic. I don't know if 7 million because that's a lot, but I think that probably I would say 5 million is a possibility.
I would say 5 million is a more realistic number.
Yeah, and some people have 100,000 subs and have conventions. Oh, agreed. So yeah, they were definitely due for a MarvelCon. I think maybe you could bring your own teams to battle against each other. Ooh, some marble racing battle. I would be all about that. I'm hoping that I would be a part of planning this because some of these ideas I want to like make sure to implement, like people bringing their own marbles and racing them and it being a whole thing where, like, I don't know, like 100 people bracket or something like that where everybody's racing the marbles, but then one comes out at the end of the week of convention or something.
Like a real life marbles on stream.
Yeah, exactly. I would love that. And we got, I hope I get to be a part of the planning if that idea continues to unfold. Okay. And the winner gets a spot in ML. Ooh, that would be interesting. Assuming Gel might be on TV at this point, more interesting than the Olympics, if I'm being honest. I agree. I like Marble League more than the Olympics. Brendan, which team would you enter?
Like the Alliance one or perhaps a different one? I don't know what an Alliance...
the Amethyst Alliance. It was one of my favorite names from the names that came up for Fubica when we were planning something with them. I came up with a lot of good names for that, and should there be another fan team contest, I'm going to have an episode where I read all the names out so you guys... Because I'm going to allow you guys to take them. Because, well, I would love to see one of those names get in, and actually I spent a long time, me and many other people spent a long time coming up with clever names that I would love to see be used in the competition. But yeah, Amethyst Alliance is one of my favorites, and there's no purple team in gel, and it would fit really well. Okay, Wof, would you enter a dark green team, and what would their name be?
Definitely, because emerald green is my favorite color. What would the team name be?
You could call it the Emeralds.
No,
please,
no.
please.
No, I gotta have something original, my guy.
Emeralds is original. It's emerald, but with a roll in it. He's
I don't.
Thinking
That's
away.
think. Yeah, like this is like a moment. Like I can't. Like if I say it now, it'll have to be that way. I don't. What would be I don't want to like the forest roamers or something like.
You don't have to. You don't have to commit to anything now. If you want to think about it, maybe postulate it next episode.
Yeah, like I don't know, like the glittering emeralds. I don't know. I'm you're putting on
emeralds. You have to just do emerald at this point. I feel like an English paper. He says, yeah, a lot of questions and a lot of typing. I also think a Rangers popsicles will be a hit. Oh my god, yeah. Themed merch and food after the marble sports teams would be just that would just be sexy. Okay, come on.
Especially the kids. Like kids love like ice cream and stuff. That's like.
Oh my god, like little Rangers things, like the SpongeBob popsicles, except it's an Ranger or whatever. I don't know. Someone would have to design that. All right. Minty Mayhem could be a ride similar to Splash Mountain. Oh, that could be fun. And maybe it has like a mint. It sprays like a mint cologne around.
I would do the Oceanics for a water ride first.
That's true. The snowballs for like something like that maybe. A live tourney would be cool. Yeah, a MarbleCon. I would expect a live Marble League. If MarbleCon 2025 happens, the expectation, the reason for it, in my opinion, would be that there'd be the first time that Marble Sports is taken from within the studio where it takes days and days to do it to being adapted to be a live tournament that's filmed live, you're able to watch it in a stadium. So it'd be a lot of preparation for that, but that would honestly be extremely cool, and that would be, in my opinion, an awesome thing that would happen, that live tournament aspect. And maybe it would be the actual full Marble League, or maybe it would just be a few events from it. Either way, that's something I'd love to see. Wait, I just thought of something. You could spray paint a hamster ball that looks like a marble, get inside of it, and race with others on a Marbula 1 track. Wow. That is an idea. Oh my god. Okay, I have to go now. Peace, my guys. All right, peace to you as well. What an idea to consider. What if human-sized hamster balls decorated like marbles, and we did life-size Marbula 1?
Yeah, like that's definitely a great idea. Like for like the kid, parents leave like their kids in like the daycare center, like for like games that their kids can play while they're going to panels and stuff.
You think that's a kids thing? You know the impact that you're gonna feel when you slam into somebody in a life-size hamster ball. I mean,
I'm thinking about the ones that you can actually like stand in, like those really thick ones. Like those things are very safe. Like Richard Hinckley is also saying something that I thought when I first read this email about an hour ago. This sounds a lot like ideas for a theme park, and I'm
that would be awesome. Like that would be great.
Part of me feels like, okay, let's tone it back, but at the same time, it's like I thought a lot of things that are happening now and like that would never have happened, and like to be honest, like I guess like as the longer it continues to grow, the greater of an opportunity it has for at least maybe a theme park to. Maybe not a full-blown theme park, but like rides to show up. Like honestly, like maybe it's crazy. This world is so insane, right? Like we this has become normalized for us.
Someone clip this. This is Wof trying to comprehend Marble Sports still. 85 episodes in, and he still can't comprehend the existence of it.
No. Like this has become normalized to us. Like it might seem like maybe we're less enthusiastic compared to when we first started, but like that's because like we were newer to Marble Sports and like doing the podcast taking it as seriously as we did.
We're still enthusiastic. We're just more professional.
But that's the difference in our perspective. Like because this is normalized, we don't we're not laughing at the smallest things anymore. Like flipping out. But it's whenever you really just stop and think about what we're talking about, what's happening. It's like this is absolutely insane.
What we're talking
about, what we're watching, it's like how it's developed this far is beyond unbelievable, and like it's like the fact that we're even considering or even talking about a marble themed theme park is bonkers.
Yeah, this is an awesome situation we find ourselves in, and
This is why I love this show.
I'm happy
and
to
this
be
community.
hosting a show that gets to dive into this each week. But anyway, we got a savage speed. Another marble pun. They're coming back now. We got a savage speed through the last couple of emails here because I have some things to get to, and we don't want the episode to be like 3 years long, do we? Okay, here we go. Which qualifying format should I use? Written in by Richard Hinckley. Here we go. Format A. By the way, Richard Hinckley, shout out to him. He's the only current mod on our YouTube live chat. When we stream the thing live, he's awesome. He's an awesome guy. Okay. Format A. Top 8 marbles in the last event automatically qualify. 48 remaining marbles battle for 40 spots. I just dropped something. Well, whatever. Format B. Top 32 marbles in last event automatically qualify. 24 remaining marbles battle for 16 spots.
I feel like Format B would go faster.
Format B would be faster. Format A would more mirror JMR, since like the auto qualify from the previous year is only the top 4, and then they fill the rest 12. So if you have a 48 marbles battling for 40 spots, it would make sense that the 8 from the previous year qualify.
True.
And then you have a qualifiers for the 40. Though in my personal opinion, I'm going to say this, and you might not like this, but I'm going to say it. I think it's ridiculous that you have 48 marbles. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't need that much. You honestly, right now, before you do anything else, before you even go get a drink of water, whatever it is you're doing right now, you should stop, and you should go to your 48 marbles and remove 20 of them right now. Right now. Do that. 20 don't get to...
reminding me of Algadoo again.
Yeah, 20 don't get to play anymore, or they are in off. There's always a certain 20 that aren't playing a particular year. 28 sounds good, and then you narrow it down to like 20 or 16. Because honestly, 48 marbles is ridiculous. There's no way that you can keep track of all those as a viewer. And my personal opinion is that you should cut it down to 28. I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong. I'm saying that, I'm just here trying to help you continue to create more optimized marble sports. And honestly, 48 is just a high number. But no matter, 8 should be the auto-qualify number or even less, because auto-qualifying should be hard. That should be hard to achieve. Because auto-qualifying means you don't have to go through any of the qualifying gauntlet next year. You automatically get to compete. You really need to show skill to do that. So top 8 or even top 6 for that. All right, last email also from Richard Hinckley, and then we're going home, everybody. He said, all-time top-ranked Marble League teams. All right, here we go. Richard says, I took the average ranking of each of the Marble League teams in all the events they competed in. Wow, that's a pretty big list, actually. Before going down the list, try to guess who the number 1 team or teams are. I mean, this is so interesting. Do we want to throw it in the last 5 minutes of this episode, or do we want to actually save this for next week? Because I kind of want to save this for next week, so we can actually bring this up at the top of the episode, because this is like an all time. This is an all time thing, and I don't think there's anything else coming out next week, anyways. So
We still have about 10 minutes.
I almost feel like I wouldn't do this justice to shove this in at the end. Instead, I kind of feel more inclined to have this be the topic of our next episode, and start at the top with this, because this is in my opinion one of the most important stats that you could know, and that is overall, if you take everything every marble has done, what points do they have to show for themselves? What current stats do they have to show for themselves? And that stat represents so much. It represents how good they are. It represents how long they competed. It represents what kind of team, how we should view that team in the context of all of marble sports. So in my personal opinion, I think we are going, well, it's not an opinion, I'm just what's happening, I guess. We are going to push this off until next week, and this will be a very important and fun topic that we will break the top of the episode with in 86. So
I guess that's a good idea because because the table was so high up on the list when I first read the email, I already saw what number 1 was. So this might be a good.
Don't tell me.
No. I'm saying this is a good chance for maybe me forget what was at the top of the table, so I can actually participate in the guessing. Next time.
Yeah, and right now I can see 34 to 14. So then once I read all those out, I'm gonna start trying to guess the next one. As we go forward from 13 to 1. So that will be a lot of fun. We'll see if I can get it. I'll be surprised. I'll be yelling about it. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So with that being said, I hope you join us next week for that. And I'm glad for everyone who wrote in this week. And I hope you enjoyed talking about the Marble Sports Hockey. If you have other opinions on that or other ideas, email in. We'd love to discuss with you what you think about marble hockey and where it fits in the world of marble sports. But yeah, we look forward to Marbula 1 Season 2 continuing. We look forward to maybe Samuel Rally continuing. And we always look forward to the next Marble League. So, Wof, take us out for the episode, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Roll on, Marble Sports fans.